Well, hi, good morning. Thank you for joining me in my shop here on September 23rd. What I'm doing today is I'm going to try to finish this radio off. I'm going to try to reassemble it, see it working really well, and have a triumphant day in my shop here. That's my plan. I always plan to have a triumphant day. Doesn't always work out that way though. So, string is on. Does the string still work after sitting here overnight? Of course it does. Of course it does. Okay, I think the way to go forward here is to power up the radio. It's still, not screwed down. Power it up. See what happens. See if that intermittent situation has really gone away for sure. And tune the radio around. See what it picks up. Chances are it works very well at this point. That's what I expect. We'll see here. Woke up today to a very, very cold day. It's 4 degrees outside. I think it's gotten up to 7 now, but the sun is shining, which is good. I have happy cats outside. They don't like the cold, but the sun compensates, of course, just like us. Okay, I gotta get it some buttons here. This is kind of half come off somehow. There we go. Okay, I really can't get out that way. Oh, this has come right off now. What's holding it on? Strings of glue. Glued on. Wow, yeah. Okay, not to worry about that. You have to worry about things in order. If you worry about everything all at once, you become like my mother. My mother was a worrier. I realized late in her life that it wasn't just worry. She was actually had a psychological issue, which produced the talk all the time. My poor mom. My poor mom. As a kid, of course, I didn't understand any of that. Okay, not to talk about that. Radio's off. Okay, we'll put on the power here. And make sure it's 6 volts. 6 volts. Volume control is over here. Which way is down? Down is this way. Down is up. Turn up a little bit. And we'll start with the M band, the medium wave band. Come on, radio. Definitely not a good sign. What am I doing wrong here? First of all, did I really turn it on? Is that really what that was? I pushed the wrong. This should be on. Okay, any current draw. We'll look up at my little power supply here. This one here. And flip it over to current. We'll see what kind of current draws. 0. Drawing zeros. Probably just these wire connections. So we'll just fiddle with them. Not that one. Oh, come on, radio. What could you possibly be doing? Oh. In case I was wondering where the screws went. Where did the screws go for this radio? I've lost the bucket of screws for this radio. There's no bucket. Okay, we're in big trouble here. Radio not working at all. After all that, it's not going to work at all. Nothing is shorted or would have saw it on the current. So they're definitely polarity correct. This is the same supply I've used before. not a sound came out of it. Oh my gosh. It's not where I want it to be at this point. Let's push some buttons. I try to do some things that can't be damaging. Okay. Turning it on helped. Okay, so somehow I thought this was an off button, and when you push the others, yeah, anyway. Okay, it's on. Good. Okay, we're cooking now. Let's tune this baby. Oh yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. I just tapped it and it made that big sound. Let's just go see. So this is a backwards scale. So the low end is at the right. We would want to go somewhere. Oh. Okay, that's better. The low end's over here. So somewhere in here we might pick up a station. Again, it depends upon the antenna orientation. Station there. But noise on top of it. But there was a station there. I could hear a voice.
Plus, get a chance to win one of 35 trips for two at a Paradisus hotel. 35 years, 35% off, 35 packages. That's well worth a fiesta. Book now. Visit transat.com or contact your Marlin travel professional. Conditions may apply. Air Transat. Vacation is calling.
Quickly, get your flight on Air Transat. Very good. Okay, next band to try would be the U band, which is the FM band. Oh, keep the volume up, because if there's an intermittent, I want to know about it. Okay, I don't want to know that badly. It's this thing over here, I think. Or the antenna is a little loose or something. Okay, you. Touching the antenna would have an effect. The antenna, maybe it's come loose. Looks like they have some kind of springy arrangement in here for making the contact with the antenna. I'm not sure how they're doing it. It's in there pretty solid. What's doing that? Could have been this loose piece. The radio's going quiet. Tune this guy. Wow, this is... Ooh. You might still be in trouble here. Oh!
To house Marcos that on the 50th year of commemorating martial law, we have Marcos sitting, sleeping, eating inside the presidential palace.
Do you ever think about going back to the Philippines?
I wish I can, and I wish I could really do it. But that would be very hard for me, because under the present regime, since the time of Duterte, he has enacted a law called the anti-terror law. And under the provisions of the anti-terror law, even overseas Filipinos who are critics of the government, even Canadians who criticize the government, could find themselves charged. So I find it worrying, even though I...
Very good. Reception's a little poor, but look, we're down in my shop. The antenna's not extracted, not pulled out that far, but it's working fine. Shortwave, I don't think there's any reason to poke around with shortwave at this point. Now, is there still an intermittent problem in this radio? It's making clicks and pops. But it's still in pieces. if I put it all back together, would I discover then that there's still something in it? Well, let's poke around a little bit. My poking stick. Look, this guy. See, this problem's all gone here. I think the sounds that we heard are just from little shorting things happening over here. I don't think it's the radio itself. No, isn't it? See, this stuff's. Yeah, see if I freed it. Yeah. Good. Power off. Power off. Very good. Okay, all I got to do is find the screws, solder this power wire back on, and put it all back together. I got one screw. The rest of them stuck on the speaker too. I don't feel any. I will find them, but I'm going to go celebrate by drinking coffee for a little bit, and then we'll put that back together completely, provided I find the screws. Okay, found the screws. Well, what I do in my shop when I can't find something, I just start cleaning things up, and usually in the process I get things cleaned up and I find the thing I'm looking for. Two birds, one stone. Okay, here it is. Now, of course, I can't remember exactly how this came apart. Is this part of this radio? Oh, no. Yeah, I don't normally have two projects on my bench at the same time because of I'm easy to confuse when it comes to stuff like this. So, I'm going to trim off the excess string here, which is of no use. Okay. Now, just take a look at how they've done this. So, you have this nice leather or fake leather covering. You see how it comes around. If this was a piece of furniture, they would staple all this in here. But so here it feels like it's glued down, and here probably the glue has come up. That's probably what's happened here. It's all glued down back here. So the second holding function, if you like, or method is this. This is going to go on. See, it's got these, it's got grips top and bottom. A little slot down in here. And look, there's more, the same leather. The leather is on the back here, or whatever this material is, vinyl, some vinyl fake leather. It's also glued down, but the glue has come off. So when I put the top back on, in the hopes that the top kind of holds the thing together, or it's gone where it's going to go anyway, so there's really nothing here to be concerned about. Just put it back together, or I have to throw some glue in here. If the whole thing were peeled off, then there's a chance the whole sheet would come up. But because it's still glued, 80% of the way, I don't think there's much chance of it, especially once this is put on. So it looks like you would screw this to here, and then you have to have this on already, because these things cause problems. So you'd have to have this on. And so what I'm doing right now, they're just trying to figure out an approach to this. Yeah, we have this on. Maybe it's more than an approach. Maybe I'm doing it. Need the battery back to settle in, and this to settle in, and we need to oops. Oh, I got this totally backwards. totally backwards here. I need to screw it down this way. Yeah. Okay, we'll put this right in place. This piece was held with only one screw. One screw to where? So it's rotate. I managed to rotate this piece. Wow, how did I manage that? Did I really? So really it could be screwed down too. So this must be rotated upwards like this. And it goes into one screw. Now these screws are going right into plastic. It would be best if I got the right screw. This is way up in here. There we are. So that's how it goes. Wow, it's hardly any clearance with the actually interfering there. Of course, this may not be in place. This is going in place. Okay, what screw would go in there? Now there's a variety of screws. Yeah. So some of these are meant to go into metal. These two are meant to go into metal. This one's, I don't know what that is. These two are from the very top. And this guy, they're not even the same. Those are real. And what was this? What was this for? What was this for? Maybe locking in the battery pack. Okay, so we're going to try the smaller screw first because it's going into plastic. If you put a big diameter screw into a small plastic hole, you're going to crack the plastic. There's no real coming back from that. I guess there is somehow. Okay, we're going to put this in. It's my nice little screwdriver. I've had this since I was in high school. Big screwdriver here. I could easily overpower this. But every other screw is bigger except these two are metal screws. Maybe these two go in the top. Okay, so this screw is bottoming out. I'm not going to force it. Though it's the smallest screw, isn't it? Now this thing has an interesting feature of it. Can you see the end there? Get an idea how it grips the screws? So now it's ready to pick up a screw. When I push down on it, that little centerpiece pops out. It grabs the screw right in the slot. It sounds illegal, doesn't it? Should not grab a screw in the slot. Now if this screw is too big, oh, this one's bigger. What a schmozzle. Well, we got a pair here and a pair there, and one pair is needed to do the top. Why don't we see if we can just remove those from the picture here. I think it's these. Yeah, because they're Phillips or star type, and this is a flathead. Yeah, so those are for this. Okay, now we're down to just a few screws here. Or did another one go somewhere? Somehow one of them ended up on the magnet. Did another one end up somewhere? Well, we need 4 screws to, wasn't it 4? 1, 2, 3, and 4. We need four screws for that. There's 4 screws there. What happened to the screw that was holding this? Okay. Now I have millions of screws. I have a stupidly large collection of all kinds of screws. So I can find something that'll do the trick. But I'd rather use what was really intended. Where did it go? Would I ever find it? Okay, one possible place is up under here. And my father taught me a great way to spot stuff. And this was stuff that had fallen on the floor. He told me, I'll show you on my bench. He told me, what you do is, you get right down on the floor, you put your head on the floor, and you look with your eye closest to the floor, and you scan. You just scan around like this. You do the same thing with a flashlight. If you put the flashlight so it's right, just scan across the floor. And you'll find stuff that way, rather than looking down from above. That didn't help though. I did not find the screw. Look. Looky what I just found. That's an even smaller screw. It's probably too small for this gripper. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna grip that. Okay, we got a little tiny screwdriver. Maybe a bit of magnetism here. Help out? No? Fingers are too big to get in there. Let's try this. This pair of pliers is just as old as this. My high school girlfriend's father was impressed with the stuff I was doing. He was a lift tow truck repairman, and so he saw that I was into this kind of stuff, and so he wanted to support me a bit, and he bought me a basic set of tools. A couple of these. I had another one of these somewhere. I don't know where it's gone. Smaller one. Hey, it might be useful now. I don't know where it is. Funny how things just disappear in life, eh? Oh, this is completely separated, but that's fine. Anybody hear my stomach just growl? Okay, are you the right screw, or did I just find a random screw on my bench? That's not the right screw. It doesn't grip at all. Now, did you hear that? My stomach's growling away. Why are you growling, stomach? So I wonder where this screw is supposed to go. Let's put it on standby over here. Well, now I'm back to one of these. Don't mess them up now. Try this one over again. Get a little bolder. Screw it down a little harder. Maybe I cross-threaded it on the way in. It kind of looks like it would fit. Being a little bolder after talking about cracking plastic. There we are. Okay, maybe I was just checking the first time. Only one screw is required because the other side there's a small pillar that has grabbed this thing so it can't twist. Still a little loose here. Need to do this great big screwdriver. See, the problem with the big screwdriver is a lot of power. The screwdriver is a lever. This is the size of the lever. What would that be? Class A? Class B? I don't know. Okay, now we got 4 screws to drop in. Oh, I'm going to guess these two are originals. Now some of these screws weren't sunk all the way down, but they're all different here. I don't like it. This would be very unusual going into plastic. There's a very fine thread on it. It's very long. Maybe that's why they weren't set all the way down. This still looks too fat. Let's try the too fat one here. Somebody's put different screws in. They've affected the. No, there's no way this is going to go into that little tiny hole there. It's a little tiny one. Any screw will do, as long as it'll tighten up nicely. Oh, see, that won't go. That won't go. It's stopping there. I dare not push it past. Well, this is quite a state. Now I've got 4 screws that would look like none of them are appropriate to go in here. Well, sometimes, well, this one, maybe this goes on the plastic spot here. The screw has to catch a piece of plastic, so it needs to be a longer screw. Maybe that's what these are for. I also would not expect them to be, like these are meant to be in a countersunk hole. This is not right. They should be this kind of screw head, flat like this. Go down. Okay, you know what I'm going to guess? I'm going to take a guess. Somebody took the screws out of this radio some time ago and lost them all. And then scrounged up this collection here. I can scrounge up better. Okay, I'm going to go screw scrounging for a while. See what I can find. So I do have some screws here in my shop that I keep as a quick access. But looks good. Let's see what happens. Might be too big. You know what? It's bigger than the hole in the board. Is it? Maybe not. No. See, I like to use a small screwdriver with a weak, it's had weak leverage, so you really feel the screw. Because you use a big screwdriver, it powers these screws tremendously without realizing it. Because of the power of the lever. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. This one's pretty much the same thing. Well, let's give it a try. So if I can't find a nice set of screws in my shop quick access collection, I'll have to go out in the garage and start rummaging through major amounts of screws here. I'm using the big screwdriver, but I'm thinking hard. This is going nice. I like this. That would have it. Now, if I can only find a bunch more of those. How about that guy? It's a different screw head. We'll give him a try. Who's going to be into this radio after this? Probably nobody ever again. Well, that's what the last guy said. As he put in a plethora of screws out of his junk box. Wow. Okay, so this is probably not long enough to get through. This is probably where the guy used these. How did he even get the screw in there? Bit awkward. This is a machine screw. It should not really be used here. Look at that, it just goes right in. And just keeps on going. Nope. Yep. Yeah, it's stripped right through. And machine screw. It's not appropriate at all. Let's try the other one. As inappropriate as it might be. Tool's too big. Right in. Well, maybe these are the right screws. Oh, right in, and there's no grip coming back. Look at. They really didn't sink down into the. Ah. I don't know if I should do this. We'll try a little bit. These are the ones that probably didn't go down all the way. Don't know. Wasn't there two that didn't go down all the way when I first got the radio? Don't break the string, Jim. This one doesn't even want to start. Oh, this one, look at this. This is not working out at all. Okay, so it has to go through this thickness here. Well, this is going to go on for a while, so I don't think I'm going to video this. I'll just get some screws from somewhere and get them in there, and we'll turn the video back on when I finally have this thing screwed together. Okay, I found some nicely fitting screws. Now, did I make a mistake here? And with it screwed together, you can't get this back on. I may have made a mistake here. No, it looks okay. So the clips have to kind of settle into this groove. Pushing the material here, and I mean there's no play in this thing, so that would be it right there. Okay, so probably the back is a little bit loose here, but it's not bad. Feels nice. Feels nice and soft. Okay, the screw holes have lined up. Now I better solder on the power wire before I forget, or that'll be disappointing. Okay, so I see where these machine screws are going. They're going into these. Here, there's a sleeve inside, a threaded sleeve inside to receive the machine screw. So that's good. Everything's looking good. Let's keep it looking good. Okay, here's a little grip, so this kind of has to come down like this to catch them. Something like that, just like that. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's going right together. Really? Wow. Now we're still unsure here as to whether all is well. We'll have to put the whole thing together, put batteries in it, and see what happens. Very good. I have a number of uncompleted projects here. If you're watching all my videos, you're wondering what's happened to a couple of radios. I'm waiting for parts. One was for lights. The lights have come. That's down tight. Tight as you want to put it. That's good. My gosh, look at that. tune this guy. Oh man, it's working. It's tuning. Let's drop some batteries in it. See what happens. A bit of corrosion on the battery terminals up there. So that might be a problem. Tune in like that. I tested these batteries earlier, didn't I? We're all good. So the two springs should go here, which they do. I left the radio switched on. It's going to come on. What's this thing? That's a foot. That's one of the feet. And then this thing here. Oh man, we are at the point now. It's switched on. Uh-oh, that's not a good sign. Let's put it on medium wave. Let's turn it up. Oh, I heard. It's probably battery problems here. Phooey, I didn't like that. It's probably battery problems, but who knows what for sure it is. I really don't want to take this thing all apart. Well, that's a good sign right there, isn't it? That's battery problems. Battery contact problems. They're in correctly. What I'll try to do, I don't know how to do this. I will not be able to do it, I don't think, is feed the power right in from my power supply. And there's no way to do it really reliably here. What are you going to do now? Yeah, what are you going to do now? Yeah. Return it to the owners. Look, you can tune it now. Am I absolutely sure it didn't work? Did I really give it a good test? Let's just put it all back together again. In fact, can I get down in there and grind that a little? Grind those things a little bit. I'm going to see if I can clean them up a touch. Okay, so how am I going to get all the way down to the bottom of this thing? A little piece of sandpaper on the end of my pliers. I haven't got too much idea what I'm doing down there. Springs, not much I can do about the springs. Really doesn't look like a battery leaked in here. Looks good. Here. See, this is pretty corroded right here. So maybe the battery leaked at the top end here. Of course, this would be the bottom, wouldn't it? The battery, the radio's sitting upright. This is the bottom. This is what's going to get attacked. Not much of a contact surface here either. Okay, these look. So, you know, you need a special metal for springiness, right? Steel is usually what's used. And see, these look a little rough, a little corroded. I think they're steel. They look like copper. You would never use, no, I've never heard of a copper spring. And the contact is the very, very tip of this. It has a little tip turned up, so that's really the whole contact. I'm just going to push this down. Maybe this part will come into contact too. Okay, let's give it another try. It's certainly a nice shiny metal there. Shiny metal. Electrons are showing. Your electrons are showing. You put this in. It's possible for this springs to get caught in here and end up not on the battery if you do a real swing on it. Yeah, this is not. Huh. Yeah, this one can miss entirely the battery. Get caught on the side there and never contact it. That's dumb. Well, how are you supposed to make that contact it? Yeah, you see, if you could put this straight on, Mr. Engineer, it works. But because you have to swing it in, it doesn't work. Mr. Engineer, okay, I had to call up the guy who designed this radio and tell him off. There, I think I got it. Maybe that's what was causing the problem right there. Okay, the answer would be yes. Holy smokes, I almost ran through that. Was with the radio. Such fun. Okay, you know what? That's fun because it shows the radio's working. It makes me excited. Turn it down. Turn it down. Turn it on. Turn it up. Oh, there it is. Look at that. So we want to go, it is the wrong end, it's down here. Down around this area. We should get some stuff. So I believe under that noise there is a radio station, but I can't hear it. So the directional antenna in here, you can use it to null out interference, but there's so much here in my shop. Let's keep going.
Tina Turjani, Global News.
Merritt Stiles is the current education critic in the province of Ontario, recently the provincial NDP. She was asked about the QP strike vote this morning when speaking with Greg Brady on Toronto Today.
I really do feel the government has not really handled this well. The minister hasn't really...
Okay, let's try FM. Put up the antenna. Come on, baby. Where are we on? So 90, this way. Not too happy, is it?
People collected batteries to last 22 power outages now. Not if they'll happen. They're asking.
I'll get a copyright hit for that. If it sounded enough like the real music.
Get your thing
Where's that hum come from? So I'm going to run outside and try this out of my shop because I'm in a terrible location here. I'm going to run out and give it a shot.
In history, I mean, tobacco is huge. So you've got a lot of really talked about people.
Switch on the back.
All surrounding this movie, and then Harry and Olivia are seeing holding hands, and it is revealed that they are in a romantic relationship in about January 2024. Right. So, my goodness, I'm just gonna have to sip some tea for a second here, Tom. Give me a minute.
Okay, no, you take your time. Okay, keep going.
Olivia Wallace, who got Cinepon and revealing the first trailer for Don't Worry, Darling, is served custody paper.
The reception is particularly bad here in my shop. Out in the rest of my house, it's so-so. This isn't the greatest radio. FM sounds just a wee bit distorted. You have to really tune it very, very carefully. Get the antenna aimed very carefully, and if you've got a strong station, you can get a pretty good sound out of it, good enough to listen to. But it's not easy. You've got to really tune it very, very precisely. Some of these early radios don't have automatic frequency control on them. And so we get lazy with the kind of FM radios we modern FM radios. You tune near the station, and all of a sudden, it's right there. And as you tune around, it kind of hangs on, and then you tune far enough. That's an automatic frequency control working. With this radio, I don't think there is any AFC. There might be, but I don't think there is. And the result would actually be a little surprising if there isn't. But it seems like there isn't. You need to tune very, very precisely to get it right on, and probably there's a bit of an alignment issue in here. Probably is a little bit out of whack. I mean, look at how old it is. It's not performing the way it did when it was new, and it's beyond me to get in there and try to sort that out. I could do it with a tube radio, but I don't think I can do it with one of these. But anyway, it's gone from useless to okay. At least you can bring it out and show it to your friends and go, look at this. The Prima Boy Luxus. I'm going to declare it a success. Well, thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to be getting back to the big guy in the background there, and I'm going to have success with that one too. That's my plan. See ya.